After being exclusive to Nintendo Switch for almost a year, Monster Hunter Rise releases for PC via Steam on January 12th, 2022. It currently has a free demo with no restrictions that can be played and offers an array of new features. Let's look at 15 things that new and returning players should know before picking it up. Story and setting. The story in Rise starts in a new world with the player character becoming a hunter in KAMURA village. Upon meeting Fugen, the leader, one learns about the Rampage, a mysterious event that saw crazed monsters attacking the village 50 years ago. With signs of the Rampage returning, it's up to the player to gather resources and prepare for the onslaught. Of course, given how previous games have played out, there's more going on than meets the eye. KAMURA Village. The world is made up of a multitude of zones, with each having areas that can be seamlessly navigated, from the forest-heavy shrine ruins to the snow-covered frost islands, among others. KAMURA Village serves as your main base, with one of the Wyvern twins, Hinoa, serving as the main helper who sets up quests. Hamon is the blacksmith responsible for all of your crafting needs, Kasaki handles buddy equipment, crafting and upgrades, and Yomogi runs the tea shop that provides various buffs from meals. A variety of other NPCs await along with other facilities like the Argosy, which offers specific resources and trading goods, and the training area for polishing one's own fundamentals and testing out weapons. Palamutes and Palicos. While the Palicos of old return armed with their own unique gear and tools, Palamutes are a new addition to the buddy roster. They fight alongside the player and can be ridden as mounts around the map, making it that much quicker to locate monsters. Two buddies will accompany the player during hunts in single player, whether it's two Palamutes, two Palicos, or one of each. You can recruit different buddies, including preset appearances, skills, and gears, change their behavior, or send them to the dojo for training. Weapons. The 14 signature weapon types of past games all return here, including the longsword, sword and shield, gun lance, hunting horn, bow, dual blaze, charge blade, hammer, light bow gun, heavy bow gun, switch axe, great sword, and insect glaive. Woo! Each has their own unique playstyle and moves while benefiting from different armor perks. Some have seen significant changes over Monster Hunter World, but notably the hunting horn, to make them much more viable. But as it stands, mastering each weapon still takes a significant amount of time and practice. Wire bug and new skills. Akin to the clutch claw from Monster Hunter World, the wire bug can be used as a grappling hook. The difference is that it offers many more movement options like dashing in mid-air and on the ground, while running, quickly recovering from being knocked down, and much more. It can also be used to execute different silk bind skills with each weapon type, which consumes a wire bug charge. It's also possible to switch between different skills, like changing out the greatsword's tackle for a guard tackle for increased defense. Monster riding. The wire bug can also be used to ride monsters. Damaging a monster with silk bind attacks or taking advantage of turf wars allows you to essentially control a monster with a wire bug for a limited time. You can perform different attacks, evade incoming damage, or launch the monster into a wall, so this is also a useful substitute for mounted damage. Increased verticality and spirit birds. Like in previous titles, each area in Monster Hunter Rise is its own unique biome with certain materials and quirks to be found. Many environments leverage the enhanced movement options, whether it's using the wire bug to quickly climb up rock faces or the Palamute to dash around the area. Another key feature is the presence of spirit birds in each area, which provides slight buffs like increased stamina, health, defense, attack, and more for the remainder of the quest. Pedalaces, a new equipment type, further augment this, and different kinds can boost the effects of each spur bird collected. New and returning monsters. A number of classic monsters, whether from World or prior titles, return in Rise, including Anjanath, Diablos, Baroth, Barioth, Mitsuzune, and Rathalos. But there's a fairly hefty selection of new monsters as well, like Aknosam, Almerdron, Great Izuchi, and the new flagship monster, Magnamalo. While other monsters also appear, we won't spoil, and on top of Turf Wars returning, players will also have to contend with harder Apex monsters as well. The Rampage. The Rampage is its own separate mode and consists of wave-based survival missions where players take on several monsters at once. Fortunately, you can set up defensive like turrets and fortifications to defend KAMURA Village. Another cool feature is being able to summon NPCs like Hinoa and Minato, Fugan, and so on to deal damage. Monsters can't be captured in this mode and will have different roles, whether it's destroying gates or attacking hunters directly. All post-launch content and free DLC. At launch, the PC version will feature all the post-launch content released thus far. This includes collaboration DLC with Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, Mega Man 11, and Sonic the Hedgehog. All of the new monsters and quests along with the new ending are also confirmed to be included at launch. It's a great departure from the Monster Hunter World's PC release and ensures that PC players won't have to wait for all the additional content to arrive later. Gameplay length. The story in Monster Hunter Rise can be completed in about 20 hours or so if you know what you're doing and ignore everything else, according to howlongtobeat.com that is. But if you're partaking in side content, that can stretch up to 64 hours. Completionists seeking out every single upgrade, crown, weapon, and whatnot can easily invest over 150 hours into the game. There's also multiplayer and the chance to start over with a completely different weapon type and build. 4K resolution, HDR, and unlocked frame rates. In terms of graphical settings and feature, the PC version offers resolutions up to 4K, HDR support, and unlocked frame rates with support for 120Hz monitors. High-resolution textures are also included, and one can adjust options like texture filtering, ambient occlusion, shadows, anti-aliasing, mesh quality, and much more. Based on previews and the recent demo, performance seems to be very good overall. Ultra-wide monitor support. Looking to see even more while being assailed by monsters? Well, ultra-wide support is also included, with the PC version of Rise with support for 21:9 aspect ratio monitors. There's even a setting to correct the UI's position when playing on an ultra-wide display. Overall, the results, based on what's been showcased thus far, looks incredibly stunning. No crossplay or cross-save with the Switch. Despite acknowledging requests for the same, Monster Hunter Rise on PC won't support cross-save or crossplay with the Nintendo Switch. The reason given by Capcom is that, quote, after looking into it throughout the development process, we found we are unable to implement it this time. This extends to the upcoming Sunbreak expansion as well, so unfortunately there won't be a solution anytime soon. One can only hope that plans can change, though. System requirements. Minimum requirements for Monster Hunter PC on Rise include an Intel Core i3-4130 Core i5-3460, 8GB of RAM, and either an NVIDIA GeForce GT 1030 DDR4 or an AMD Radeon RX 550. Recommended settings include a Core i5-4460 or FX 8300, 8GB of RAM, and either a GTX 1060 with 3GB of VRAM or an RX 570 with 4GB of VRAM. Storage-wise, you're looking at only 23GB of space needed for installation. And that brings us to the end of this video. A quick request before we conclude: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all your notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.